Okay, so before we start this video, let me just tell you that probably within about 5 minutes of this video being up, comments, likes, dislikes, and all that is going to be disabled. I know how these comments are going to end up because I'm just going to speak the truth, and I'm going to speak about what I'm saying that's happening with Iron Fist, and a lot of it's going to be factual here, but people aren't going to necessarily take it as fact, because presenting people with facts, what's the point anymore? So essentially what we're discussing here is Iron Fist. The first wave of reviews have hit, and it sits at a very, very low 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Which, that within itself, fine. That's fine. If the show sucks, if it's that bad, 0%, sure. Let it be the worst, comic book or live action, anything ever made. Sure, maybe it's that terrible. Maybe it's worse than the Fantastic Four. I'm not saying it is. Maybe it is. But here's the thing. When you go look at these reviews, you're going to notice a pattern within these reviews. And majority of them are not going to be talking about the production of the show. They're not going to be talking about the character development, the supporting cast. They're not going to touch upon any of those aspects. They're not going to go into the technical difficulties of making the show, anything like that they would, discuss in other shows. Instead, there's only one vocal focus in about 95% of the reviews I've read, and I've tried to go out there and read every review that's out before I am officially making this video. And there's one constant that's present in almost every single one of those reviews. And majority of these negatives are focusing on the fact that Iron Fist is white. That it's a white lead as Iron Fist. Now, unless somehow Kitty Pryde did something and sent Logan to some alternate timeline and he ended up in ours and messed everything up, and apparently I'm the only one unaffected, from my knowledge, having read Iron Fist, having went and checked Google just to make sure that nothing has changed somehow over the last 24 hours, Danny Rand is white. He loses his parents, and he gets the title of being Iron Fist, which is a lineage. There have been other Iron Fists before. There's been an Asian one. There's been a female one. She was awesome. There's been tons of other Iron Fists. He's the most modern, which makes a lot of sense why he's the focal point of bringing us into that world and why we're getting this character. Now, Danny, like I said, once again, let me preface this, is white. And majority of these reviews are focusing on the fact that he's not Asian. Now, do I have a problem with that? Well, I have a problem with their opinion of that because it's downright stupid. Once again, in the source material, he is white and a rich kid. So, what you're telling me is you don't like the stereotype of this white kid that goes over there, overseas, and suddenly he becomes the quote-unquote savior that everybody's pointing at now, and then he comes back and he's this hero. So that stereotype is not okay, apparently. But it's okay if he was to be Asian and do martial arts, which within itself is a stereotype. Does anybody here see the hypocrisy that's being thrown around with this? Now let me back this one up with even more hypocrisy from even comic book fans. So, comic book fans over the last 3 years have literally just shat on Marvel every chance they get. Why? Oh, there's an Asian Hulk. Oh, there's a black female Iron Man. Oh, Miss Marvel. She's now Captain Marvel, but Miss Marvel is now the name of a Muslim superhero. Oh no, diversity. No, that's bad. You're being politically correct. You're social justice warriors, okay? That's what you're doing. Oh, look, DC now. They have a black Superman? There's an Asian Superman? What is happening? That's also a problem, apparently. So why is it these same people, the same people that say they don't want these things, like a black Spider-Man, or anything like that because they're sick of it, now want Iron Fist to be changed over? You can't have it both ways. Which one do you want? And of course, the next thing people just throw out there is Marvel doesn't take any risks with their character. Well, every time they do, people cry. They tried it with the Mandarin. What happened there? Did it with Ultron. What happened there? Every time they change the most minute thing, everybody flips out and makes that the focal point, and the thing suffers. So what do you want? What do you really want? What is the problem? What's the justification here? I don't get it. So like I said, sure, if you're going to review Iron Fist, focus on the show itself. If the show is just outright shit, then say why it's shit. Don't focus on the starring person because he's not Asian, when he's not Asian in the source. Am I the only one confused here? Am I really the only one confused here?